get. Thanks so much for your time. Joining me now is Geoff Hughes, This Story Australia CEO. Thanks so much, Geoff. Tell us about this latest project.
Well, it was quite a unique project, and thanks for having me on again this year, Laura. It's important. One of the initiatives that we do at This Story is to make sure that veterans who would like to share their story have the opportunity to do that. And last year, we had an opportunity to travel to Perth and Canberra and preserve the stories of Les Cook and Arthur Leggett, their personal experiences in the Battle of Crete, and basically what unique bond they had. But also of note is they're the last two surviving Anzacs that we've got in Australia. I mean, we use the term Anzac, and we hold it to much renown, but they were amongst the corps that were labeled the last Anzacs that had fought in World War II. So it's important to have a look at their stories and to make sure we don't forget.
Yeah, it is really important. Geoff, this must be a really humbling but beautiful experience. What a privileged position you are in, really, to tell these stories and hear from these veterans. Tell us about the last two Anzacs from World War II. Is there anything that they told you that sticks in your mind today?
Well, I think one of the things that really comes across clearly, even in the way they speak, is just they're humble and they're respectful of every other person in Australia. They don't have a bad word to say about anyone. They've grown up in an era that had these qualities of respect and honor and sacrifice and integrity. And, if you look at the widespread community, all you have to do is, watch a few news stories and you just think, where have those qualities gone? And I can tell you where they've gone, that they've stayed with our previous greatest generation. And there's a lot we can learn from that. And so, there's a humbleness that comes across and a very much a knowledge that they pass on. So even though they're talking about specifics of their campaign, we get a chance to understand the people that they are, and I think that's what's really important. We want more connection in society. It's time we start listening to other people's stories and developing some empathy.
I have a really positive aura about this day in particular. Going to a dawn service this morning, there were thousands of people that made that small sacrifice getting up before dawn, a lot of them bringing their kids with them. And I think this is a sacred day in Australia. It remains so. When there's a lot of political debate about other days we commemorate, Anzac Day does seem most sacred and precious to the vast majority of Australians. Now, Geoff, I noticed you're in Theodore in Queensland. I don't exactly know where Theodore is, so sorry to the people of Theodore watching us this morning. But tell us about it. Where is it and what are you doing there?
So it's about a 6-hour drive northwest of Brisbane. So it's a very, very big day trip if you want to do it in a day. But we were invited here on behalf of Noel Pope, who was a Vietnam veteran that we interviewed. We had the pleasure of interviewing last year as a part of a First Nations veterans project that we did, which basically saw us travel and interview veterans from Thursday Island in the Torres Strait, Cairns, and then back through central Queensland, back to Brisbane. So Noel invited us last year. Population here is about 300 people, and all of them this morning were at dawn service. And there's something very simple and very quiet about a service in the country. Everyone's there for one reason. There's no sirens, there's no passing loud trucks on a highway, and it's just time to remember. So it's quite a unique and special occasion.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Geoff, thanks so much. There's so much emotion so close to the surface for our veterans today, young and old, and we appreciate them. We'll speak soon.
Pleasure. Thanks very much.